the Mystery Woman. In August 1954, the top of Mount Palomar in the United States hosted a remarkable convention that featured details on mysterious flying aircrafts, detailing eyewitness encounters and sharing knowledge about sightings that no one knew about. The event took place at an altitude of over 1,800 meters, and different members in the community gathered to exchange ideas and share experiences about these strange phenomena. The convention was highly memorable, and it attracted participants from different parts of the country who were keen to learn and engage in discussions surrounding the convention. Was attended by over 1,000 individuals from various walks of life, including journalists from all over the globe, FBI agents, witnesses, and even individuals who were merely curious. All of the people who were contacted shared their distinct experiences. At the conclusion of the initial day's proceedings, there was a commotion among the attendees as they observed the unanticipated presence of an attractive woman accompanied by a duo of men. One of the men had glasses, and all three individuals were of fair complexion. The woman distinguished herself with her blonde hair and strikingly black and intense eyes. Further standout features included unusual cranial formation and an unusual bone mark on her forehead. During the convention, a journalist from Brazil was in attendance and conducted an interview with a group of individuals who signed the guest book. According to the journalist's research, the woman in the group was named Dolores Barrios, and she identified herself as being a fashion designer from New York. During the meeting the next day, Martins managed to take a photograph of the woman, which surprised her and led to her immediately leaving the area with her two friends. Oddly enough, moments after the three individuals left and ran for the nearby forest, those in attendance reported that a mysterious aircraft was seen taking off and leaving the area at incredible speeds. However, due to the speed in which the aircraft was traveling, the witnesses in attendance reported that they were unable to capture any photographic evidence of the event. Despite thorough investigation, no individuals have come forward to claim knowledge or identification of the unusual individuals depicted in the photographs. As of today, it remains a mystery who they are, what their purpose was, and why they left the event in a hurry. Jerome of Sandy Cove. In September of 1863, an unidentified man was found on the beach of Sandy Cove and given the name Jerome. This man's true identity remains a mystery to this day. The discovery of Jerome sparked curiosity and questions about how he ended up where he did and where he originated from. The individual in question was discovered with amputated legs, leaving him unable to stand. When questioned by locals, he provided limited responses, perhaps indicating a lack of proficiency in both English and French languages. He was requested to reveal his name, but his response was unclear, as he muttered something which sounded like Jerome. Consequently, he was addressed by this name. An 8-year-old boy named George Colin Albright discovered him in the village of Digby Neck, and he was later taken to the Albright family's home to receive proper care and attention. The boy found him in a state of ill health and decided to take it upon himself to bring him back to health. Jerome had undergone a surgical procedure where both of his legs were amputated above the knees, and the incisions showed that the surgeon performing the amputation was highly skilled. It is evident by some that Jerome had lost both of his legs at the same time, but as of right now, researchers are unsure of how this happened. When the man was discovered, it was observed that the stumps on his body were only partially healed and still covered by bandages. In addition, he was experiencing the unpleasant effects of being exposed to cold weather for an extended period of time. Visitors to his sick bed were interested in learning more about him, but were surprised to discover that he was unable to comprehend French, Latin, Italian, or Spanish. These shortcomings highlighted his limited linguistic abilities, which impacted his interactions with foreign partners. According to witnesses, the man in question was observed to be avoiding the attention of the curious onlookers, and when faced with unwanted guests, he growled like a dog to scare them away. The observers also noticed that the man seemed to have hands that were too soft to belong to a manual laborer, and he was described as having a Mediterranean appearance. The family who had found him had a hard time supporting another member, which resulted in him being passed from one household to another. Finally, The Baptist community of Digby Neck suggested that he was a Catholic, and so subsequently sent him to the nearby French community of Mettingen. This experience of being shifted from family to family had a significant impact on Jerome's life. The government then got involved and made the decision to approve a fixed sum of $2 per week to provide financial support to Jerome. After the community persistently attempted to break his aloofness, Jerome was compelled to reside with Jean Nicola, a multilingual Corsican defector. Nicola was unable to engage him in conversation, but Jerome remained residing in the household of Nicola for an additional 7 years. During his stay, he became a beloved companion of the female members of the household. Soon after the passing of Juliette Nicola, her husband relocated to Europe, while Jerome found shelter with Dedier and Zabeth Como near Mettingen. Jerome passed away on the 15th of April, 1912. Decades passed, and various individuals claimed they knew who Jerome was. Many believed the man to be Italian, perhaps a mutilated nobleman who kept his silence to save himself from political rivals. Another theory was that he was an Italian naval officer, injured on board and cruelly abandoned by his crewmates. Those who cared for him claimed he would sometimes utter Colombo and Trieste, further proving that he was Italian. The mystery of the Green Children of Woolpit. The Green Children of Woolpit is a legend that dates back to the 12th century and is believed to have originated in the town of Woolpit in Suffolk, England. The legend tells the story of 2 children, a brother and a sister, who were found wandering in a field outside the town of Woolpit. They were strange-looking children with green skin and spoke a language that no one in the town could understand. The children were taken in by a local landowner, Sir Richard Decane, who tried to feed them with bread and water. However, the children refused to eat any food except for green beans. They appeared to be in good health, but they refused to eat anything else other than green beans. Over time, the children began to adapt to their new surroundings and eventually learned to speak English. They told their hosts that they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, which was a world of perpetual twilight. They claimed that the sun never shone in their world, and that everything was always green. As the children grew older, their skin gradually lost its green color, and they began to eat regular food. The boy became sick and passed away, while the girl adapted to her new life and eventually married a man from King's Lynn. She reportedly retained her greenish hue for the rest of her life. The legend of the Green Children of Woolpit has been the subject of much speculation and debate over the centuries, with some suggesting that the children were actually advanced beings or creatures from another dimension, while others believe that they were the survivors of an ancient civilization or the descendants of a race of green-skinned people. However, most historians and scholars believe that the story of the Green Children is likely a combination of folklore and historical fact. The green color of their skin may have been the result of a rare genetic condition known as chlorosis, which causes the skin to turn greenish-yellow due to a lack of iron in the blood. Alternatively, the children may have been suffering from malnutrition or exposure to an unknown substance that caused their skin to turn green. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit has been retold many times over the centuries and has become a popular legend in English folklore. Despite the many theories and speculations surrounding the story, the true origins of the Green Children remain a mystery. The mysterious Lady in White. The Lady in White is a common ghostly apparition that has been reported in various cultures and regions around the world. The origins of the Lady in White legend are unclear, but many believe it to have originated from the 19th century Victorian era in Europe, where it was believed that a woman who passed away tragically and without justice could become a ghost, dressed in a long white dress and haunting the place of her death. The Lady in White is often associated with tragic or violent deaths, and the apparition is commonly seen near or around the location where she passed away. The Lady in White is often described as a beautiful, pale woman wearing a long white dress, sometimes with a veil or shawl covering her hair. Her appearance is usually ethereal, and she is said to have a peaceful or sad expression. The Lady in White is often reported to appear in areas such as graveyards, abandoned buildings, or on the side of the road. Many people believe that the Lady in White's appearance is a warning of danger or tragedy. while others believe that the apparition is a lost soul seeking justice for her untimely passing. Regardless of the belief, the Lady in White has become a popular figure in many ghost stories and legends. There are many reported sightings of the Lady in White around the world, with each region or culture having its own interpretation of the apparition. For example, in Hispanic culture, the Lady in White is known as La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, who haunts rivers and waterways, mourning the loss of her children. In the United States, there are many stories of the Lady in White, including at the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana, where a ghostly woman in a white dress has been reported to haunt the grounds. In New York, the Lady in White is said to appear on the Taconic State Parkway, where she passed away in a car collision. She is also reported to haunt the Donovan Mill in Nevada, where a woman named Elizabeth McGrath was taken out in a mining accident. The origin of the Lady in White motif is unclear, but it is likely that it has evolved from various cultural and historical sources. One possible explanation for the Lady in White motif is that it is a manifestation of the archetypal figure of the mourning woman. The archetype of the mourning woman is a universal theme in mythology and folklore, and it often represents the grief and sorrow of a community or a nation. The Lady in White may be seen as a specific manifestation of this archetype, representing the grief and sorrow of a particular time and place. Another possible explanation for the Lady in White motif is that it is a manifestation of the concept of residual haunting. Residual haunting is a paranormal phenomenon in which an event from the past is replayed over and over again in a particular location, creating a ghostly impression. In this context, the Lady in White may be seen as a residual haunting of a woman who passed away, or who experienced great emotional turmoil in the location where she is seen. The Lady in White is also often associated with specific historical events or legends. In some cases, the Lady in White is said to be the ghost of a woman who passed away during childbirth, or who was betrayed by a lover. The Lady in White is a fascinating and enduring motif in folklore and ghost stories around the world. Although the origin of the motif is uncertain, it is clear that it has captured the imagination of countless storytellers and continues to haunt our collective imagination. The Vatican, the headquarters of the Catholic Church, is a site of great religious significance for millions of people around the world. However, it is also known to have a long and complex history of paranormal and supernatural phenomena that have fascinated people for centuries. One of the most famous paranormal incidents at the Vatican is the story of the ghost of Pope Leo XIII. According to legend, in 1884, the Pope had a vision of Satan and heard him challenging the Church to a century-long battle. In response, the Pope composed a prayer to St. Michael the Archangel, asking for protection against the devil's schemes. It is said that the Pope's vision and prayer were widely circulated among the faithful and contributed to the growing interest in exorcisms and other supernatural practices within the Church. The Vatican has also been linked to numerous ghost sightings and hauntings over the years. One of the most well-known of these is the story of the ghost of Joan of Arc. According to legend, Joan of Arc was brought to Rome in 1430, where she was interrogated. It is said that her ghost still haunts the church, where it has been seen by numerous visitors over the years. The Vatican also has a long history of secret societies and esoteric traditions that have fueled speculation about its involvement in paranormal and supernatural practices. One of the most well-known of these is the Order of the Knights Templar, a medieval Catholic military order that was accused of practicing witchcraft and other dark arts. While the Templars were disbanded by the Church in the 14th century, their legacy has lived on in popular culture and theories, and they are still widely associated with the Vatican and its inner workings. In recent years, the Vatican has become more open to discussing the paranormal and supernatural. In 2014, for example, the Church held its first ever conference on exorcism, which was attended by hundreds of priests and laypeople from around the world. The conference was intended to address the growing interest in exorcisms and the paranormal, and to provide guidance to priests and other religious figures who encounter people claiming to be possessed by demons or other malevolent spirits. Overall, the Vatican's long and complex history of paranormal and supernatural phenomena has fascinated people for centuries. So, what do you make of these unsolved mysteries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.